The wife of the limo driver involved in the deadly crash in upstate New York is speaking out for the first time on camera. 20 people, including driver Scott Lisinickia, were killed Saturday. New York officials say Lisinickia did not have a proper license to operate the vehicle. Federal documents show the limo he was driving also failed an inspection in September. DeMarco Morgan spoke with Lisinickia's wife in an interview you'll see only on CBS This Morning. He is near the crash scene in Schoharie, New York. DeMarco, good morning.
Good morning. Kim Lisinickia told us that her husband Scott had been working with Prestige Limousine for a little over a year, and she feels like he's being improperly blamed for this accident. And even though authorities have yet to determine what exactly caused the crash, she also says she believes it had nothing to do with Scott.
It has been so difficult because I think about him every day.
And when was the last time that you spoke with him?
It was Saturday morning before the crash, before he went to work.
And when did you find out about the accident?
I didn't hear from him for about 3 hours, and that was odd to me. And
you sort of felt something.
Yeah, I felt something. So I called his boss, not the owner, but the son of the limo company. I was like, did you hear from Scott? And he said, I'm glad you called me because there was an accident.
What do you think may have happened? Was Scott suffering from any medical condition?
He was in excellent health. He was an excellent driver. For over 20 plus years, he drove a tractor trailer. That's why I know something was wrong.
State officials say your husband didn't have the proper license to operate that vehicle.
I don't know what that's about, because even if he didn't have the proper license, this still would have happened. And I feel like he still would have got blamed.
Hearing about the violations with the fleet, Prestige Limousine's fleet, are you bitter? Are you upset?
Oh yeah, look, I am. Because they should have been more responsible. You have a company where you have people's lives in your hands. That's unacceptable.
Did he ever complain about the vehicles?
Oh yeah, he did.
What did he say?
He did complain. He, there were a few times where he told me, I overheard him say, I'm not going to drive this like this. You need to give me another car.
So he knew something was wrong with those vehicles?
Not really. He trusted in what the limo company said, that the cars were all right. But please, I have to say, I feel for these victims. I feel for them. I am in no way trying to make it seem like it's about me or my husband. I just want my husband to be vindicated. I have to stand for him, because nobody else will.
Now, Kim was very adamant, saying that she would continue to pray for everyone involved and impacted by this tragedy. The Albany Times-Union newspaper, meanwhile, reports that Scott Lisinickia was given a ticket back in August for not having the proper license to operate that limo, and that they notified Prestige Limousine. The paper also reports that just 2 days before the crash, someone was trying to sell what appeared to be that limo on Craigslist. The limo company's attorney said the vehicle was deemed road ready after it failed an inspection in September. But the New York State Department of Transportation told us in a statement that is categorically false. The owner was warned not to operate the vehicle, and the vehicle was placed out of service. So you got a lot of back and forth, but one thing is for certain for this community: it is mourning the loss of 20 people killed in this tragedy.
Marco, thank you. And in a statement, Prestige Limousine said, quote, "We respect the family and their process of grief. Mr. Lisinickia was a dear friend and dedicated driver, and we too mourn because he is gone. At this time, we are putting our trust in the investigations in order to answer all of the questions of causation and fault." And, you hear his wife say that she's thinking of the families of those passengers. And of course, we're thinking of her too.
Yeah,
She lost her husband, but there are still so many unanswered questions. When I was there were no skid marks. The car made a straight line across that intersection. It didn't swerve at all. So
just like it kept
really
barreling
trying to figure out, right, what happened in those final moments.
She seemed to question that even if he didn't have the proper license, she seemed to be saying he was qualified because he could drive a tractor trailer. But that still leaves a lot of questions. Was he licensed to drive that truck, that limo, or not? It's a very troubling story, but I definitely feel for her. You feel there are no winners here. You feel for everybody in this story.
Everyone in
It's
that
horrific.
community, yeah.